Enrico Tessarin is an Italian-born, London-based writer and producer with more than 15 years' experience working on films, documentaries, and TV series. He and his company, Pinch Media, have written, produced, and co-produced several TV and web series, 7 feature films, 6 feature documentaries, and a documentary TV series, most sold internationally with several selected for prestigious international film festivals. The awards his projects have won include an Emmy nomination, a British Independent Film Award nomination, and the United Nations Innovation Award, plus many others. Enrico is a graduate of the London Film School and teaches film production and writing at MA and BA level, and through his consultancy shorts to features. In 2022, he published in collaboration with Eurobox his literary work titled The Summer of 1989, and he's connected with us today to give us the chance to ask him some questions. Hi Enrico, and welcome to Conoscere TV.
Hi, nice to see you here, and thank you.
So we anticipated just the title at the moment, but please tell us, what is The Summer of 1989 about?
The summer of 1989, I call it, because I'm used to call it the summer of 89, because in English sometimes they take it short. The summer of 89 for me is a coming of age book. So it's a book about a teenager who, you could argue, is a little bit my alter ego, discovering life, discovering love. And obviously 1989 is a setting where the world was changing and he was changing. So he changes through the love of these two women, one, the happy love with a girlfriend that he's meant to have, and one, the forbidden love with Sophia Loren of the little village set in the Alps near Turin. And on the other side is about the world. So it's the year of Tiananmen Square, is the year of the Berlin Wall collapsing, the Iron Curtain collapsing. So it's a world where everything is changing and everything seems possible. And in a way, that's the theme of the book for me. Everything is possible, just follow your dreams.
So the first curiosity I would like to ask you is, what was the inspiration to write down this story? When did the idea come up for the first time?
It's actually quite funny because I don't come from a necessarily artistic background or artistic family. So my father is a sort of low-level engineer, expected me to be an engineer, but I was completely useless in maths. So the idea of writing a book actually started when I was 16, and I made a lot of people laugh. And I still remember my classmate laughing so much. So I felt so ashamed of this crazy idea that I left it there, but always stayed in me. And then when I started film production, I always wanted to write, and I started writing screenplays. And then the idea of the book was probably there because it was a big story of my youth, and I always wanted to write it, but I didn't know how. I tried to write it as a screenplay originally, and then it became a book. And it took me 4 years, and thank God, with the pandemic, I could manage to finish it. And also, if you like, it was a gift to myself. First of all, I wrote it for me, but also to my children and to a friend of mine who passed away sort of the last few years. So I wanted to encapsulate these moments of our life before it could be all forgotten. So I wanted to keep it as a legacy.
So we have some spoilers of the plot. We know why it was born, but who's the target reader? I mean, who would you suggest this reading to?
It's actually very interesting because at the beginning, in a way, I wrote it for myself. So I thought that potentially only Italians could get it, but I live in England. So one of the things that really pushed me to finish is that I was getting really good feedback from foreigners. English friends, Chinese friends who had no idea about Italy, what is life in a village. And people my age certainly have enjoyed it so far. So I would say maybe 35 plus, they remember the events, and obviously much older, they remember the events with fondness. But then one little surprise has been the younger readers So I've had, I mean, obviously, I asked my kids to read it, although it was a bit difficult given the subject, but they both read it, recommended to their friends. So I think there is an element of a young audience that hopefully will be attracted by the love story, and maybe an older audience that will have this recollection of events that happened such a long time ago that seems so topical today when the world is going in the opposite direction, basically.
The book was released some months ago. You've already launched it in London a couple of times, so we know
Yeah.
you already had good events. But what are you planning now, on an international level, I mean?
Yeah, I think it's gradually. My promotion strategy was obviously I wanted to do a book launch in here, which was a really nice party here in London. But then at the same time, I want to gradually go to book fairs, and then obviously I'll be delighted to come to Rome and be in Rome for the Fiera Più Liberi, which is it will be my first book signing internationally outside London. So I look forward to meet international readers and obviously Italian readers. The book is set in Italy after all, and then see how they feel about the book, and then start a dialogue. I think the last book signing I did in London, some of the joy was the interaction with the readers. It was really fantastic, and I look forward to do it again. And obviously the Instagram page, we're gonna have some video content coming up, and then so yes, as much as possible.
Well, looking forward to see you in Rome. Thank you for your time today, Enrico, and best luck with your book.
Thank you so much. Take care, all the best.
Who can forget the summer of 1989? Can love triumph over the temptation of a confused adolescence in a small village? Find it out in this book. The Summer of 1989 is now available in bookstores and digital platforms. It's a publication by Eurobox.